Real quick, before we jump into this video, make sure you guys head over to workforapparel.com. We've got a bunch of new shirt designs, including one that follows the theme of this video, which is the super sweet mini truck finally made its way onto a shirt. Also, today is Cyber Monday. Take advantage of some deals. Head on over to workforapparel.com. Let's roll to this video.
What's up and good morning, guys? Welcome back to another video. We got a beautiful morning today at the ranch here, albeit it's just a hair chilly in the shade, but out in the sunshine, it is like, I don't even know, 70 something degrees, which, you know, that's cold for us. So that's sweatshirt weather here. We haven't done a whole lot of stuff at the ranch lately, video-wise. So HYPERLITE was out here the other day. We were doing a little bit of work. I'll show you guys kind of like the front driveway section in a second here. We were using the mini truck to haul some dirt, and albeit the mini truck still runs very, very rough. HYPERLITE claims he fixes it every time he gets in it, and then I'll literally drive it 3 seconds later and I'm like, it's not fixed. It doesn't run good. Albeit in its running very horrible shape, it actually hauls a good amount of dirt and it'll dump a good amount of dirt. But we pushed it to the limits, and well, we'll cut to a clip here in a second. We found the limit. Got the mini truck putting in some work today, fixing some spots on the road. Obviously the Mini X.
Something just broke.
Now, I have done a ton of work on this mini truck and basically rebuilt most of the dump bed on it. There's just a few things that I haven't touched on. That's basically the subframe section you see here. That's how this thing came when I bought it. So somebody retrofitted this thing to a dump bed at some point in its life. I don't think they come this way from the factory. And based on some of like the work, some of it's kind of funky. Well, we pushed this thing very, very hard. None of my work failed, but the previous work failed, which you will see. It's kind of dangerous. I don't even want to get down there. Hold on. Let's see if we come down here. You will be able to see basically where the bottom of this hydraulic ram attaches to this square stock. It has mushed the crap out of that, tore it on the other side. It's going to be hard to see here. And basically, when you go to actuate the ram, instead of it having enough force to push up and lift the bed, it pushes forward, which then mushed it into the cab, which you can kind of see right there. So this thing currently does not line up well to come down. That's why I have it pinned up. It took that mini excavator yanking it to get it unwedged from the cab and up. And on the back section here, you'll see they basically just made a pivot point. There's not really like a hinge or anything right here. They made this pivot point by just running a bolt through, I don't know what it is, that 1/8 inch at best square stock. And that's the pivot point for the bed. Well, I think this side, you're not really gonna be able to see it until we pull this apart, but basically this bolt tore out the backside of this tube. Basically the entire bed pushed forward and ripped that bolt out of the back. That's why nothing really lines up anymore. It's gonna be a good amount of work to get this thing fixed and beefed up. And we're up for the challenge today. So typically I would have to load this on my trailer, take it all the way down to my shop, work on it, bring it back. Well, I don't have any of my trailers here currently, other than we do have the mini gooseneck, which I bet we could honestly make that work if we really wanted to hokey it together. So I'd have to go into town, grab one of my trailers, bring them back up here, grab the mini truck, go down. So instead, James has offered to let me use his shop. I'm always weird about going into other people's shops because like you don't know anything. You know you're gonna bug them all day and be like, hey, where's your wrenches? Hey, where's your this? Hey, where's your that? But it's a much better alternative than me wasting like 3 or 4 hours today moving trailers and trucks and stuff around. So we're going to drive this thing in the up position. Let's see if she fires up. Oh, come on, baby. I know you've been cold. You haven't been running like a week. Oh, there we go, there we go. There we go, there we go. All right. I really got to get this thing figured out. One of these days, one of these days. And here come the 52,000 engine swap it comments, to which all of you I say, come on out and engine swap it for me. I'll pay you. We all know it's not that easy. Gotta make sure we don't hit the house there with the bed being up. Now, if you follow the ranch videos for any length of time, you guys have seen a lot of stuff that we've done out here, and you guys have seen how the property handles when like gnarly rains come through. And being that all the mountainside behind me burned, there was not a lot of vegetation to slow the water down. So we've had to do a lot of things to really mitigate that. A lot of the water would come down this side of the property. We stacked all these rocks right here, which slowed a lot of it down. And there's only like a 8-inch drain pipe, maybe 6-inch drain pipe right there, that all the water coming from there to here has to like sit in. So it would come down really fast and just blow out right here, completely destroy in front of the driveway and rut everything out like you can kind of see right there, which really makes it no fun to pull up into your driveway. So just on the temporary, I built these little berms the last rainy season, threw some block that I had just lying around up in here and used that to all kind of hold this hillside in place. That way, if this does start to build up with water, it's got a place to sit for a minute until it enters that drain and then flows all the way through, ties into a much bigger 16-inch culvert pipe that we ran underneath the new driveway and spills out on that side. This whole area works great where we have the right-sized culvert pipe. It's this little one over here that is the issue. So we had a big rainstorm come through 2 weeks ago, and it just dumped consistently for like a full day. Like not a lot really quickly and then left, which is normally what happens out here. It was just consistently dumping. And this held up really well, as crappy as it looks. But finally, towards the end of the day, this got overwhelmed, blew out. And well, that's so me and Papa Rhino, we're using the mini truck to bring out just loads of dirt, just to kind of feather this back in, fill in the ruts, and you can see we got to about there before we ended up breaking the mini truck. We're probably doing a lot more damage back there on the bumpy dirt road by leaving this up. I've got the little safety bar there, and I've taken as much pressure as I can off the bed and put it on that little safety bar, so hopefully we avoid doing more damage. But the washboard sections probably aren't good for that hydraulic ram to sit like that. Alrighty, we are arriving at James' shop here. Am I kind of clear?
Keep going, keep going.
All right.
Take it easy. Let's get a little bit more technical.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Alrighty, y'all, we got the big guns now. So basically my plan is we got to completely remove the entire bed, which I forgot we ran all these lights and wires and stuff up to all the lights that are on that little overhead rack there. And this is the one project we didn't put in a disconnect right there to where we can just unplug the whole bed. So we kind of screwed up there. That's why I do it on everything. The one I forgot, well, I forgot. Alrighty, so we've got the front up there hooked up to the old skip loader here. And I think that's taking enough weight off the front that I can disconnect the hydraulic ram from this side. And then from there, we can probably lower the bed down, pull those two rear bolts off, and then I'll attach some ratchet straps from the back here. We should be able to pick the whole bed up. Maybe I just remember the wiring that we just talked about like 30 seconds ago. My short-term memory does not remember that. Yeah, you know, we'll just get it up and we'll go from there. Kind of nervous. I don't really want to disconnect this while standing underneath it. Let's see what happens if we actuate the hydraulics a little bit. We'll relieve a little pressure and see if this thing just floats on the ratchet strap. Let's hit the down button here. There we go. All right, I think I've let enough pressure out. Should be sitting on the ratchet straps, and then we have this right here, which I don't like that this still has a lot of pressure on it. Maybe we should crank those ratchet straps a little bit more. But where's the fun in that? Let's pull the pin here. All right, so we've successfully got the hydraulic ram out from this part of the bed. That was a little bit sketchy, but she's done. So you can see now, you can get a much better look there at where it tore this entire piece of 2x2, completely bent everything, and then started pushing up on that one with this little like gusset that they kind of welded in there. Obviously this thing needs a lot more bracing for the amount of abuse I've put it through so far, and I'm probably going to continue to put it through. So now we got to pull these bolts out of the backside right here, which they've already kind of ripped themselves out. This is where it's going to get weird because it's going to want to totally slide back. So I think what we're going to do now is I'm going to try to lower this with the skip loader and then take a little bit of the pressure off. Although I don't think she's going to want to go all the way down because now we have a ram in the way here. Yeah, guys, I think it's safe to say this wasn't doing us a whole lot of good here. Like I could probably almost just break this thing off. I don't think it's really attached there. So I went ahead and got the ram off from both sides here. And you can see the mounting freaking arm there just embedded itself in that 2x. And then I was looking at these bolts that we need to pull out to get the rear hinge portion off, and well, they are bent as all can be. So there's no way I'm gonna be able to pull that nut off and actually back that bolt out. So we get to cut it off.
Yeah, hot wrench.
There you go. And while we're under that, we might just want to cut all the crap out that they put on there because it all sucks.
You're welcome to. I got 2 more tanks.
Oh, I don't think we need that much. So for whatever reason, I mean, I guess you're going for a bigger triangulation, but they went from this piece of square stock to that piece of square stock. And like, this is just literally welded onto this piece of, I don't even know what that is, 14 gauge maybe? Like the way they kind of sandwich these frame pieces together, you can see it's just 2 little pieces there. So they welded it onto that, which you can see has flared up right there and has lifted up when they should have gone on like this piece of round bar that's actually welded into the frame. So that's probably where I'll go, or I'll go into my hitch assembly that I added right there, because those welds are actually kind of okay, decent.
So typically, I'm not like an expert.
All right.
But see how there's black smoke?
Yep.
Usually you'll bring it up just until that goes away.
Okay.
And that's usually about all the acetylene you need.
I'm here to say I'm officially watching James squint, so he is safe.
There you go, it's off. Want to try and drive one through and then do
Yeah, let's make sure we didn't just weld it back together there.
Oh, it's not.
You don't think so? Have all the weight on it. So in the essence of safety, oh no, you're good. Go ahead. Just watch your head. So we don't really have anything strapping the rear here, and obviously just the front, it's pulling that way. It's gonna wanna maybe do one of these. So, you know, we got us a safety strap right here. All right, oh, wait. Not going anywhere, James. We're totally safe.
It does have a little snag in the strap.
Well, you know.
That's why it's on my workbench and not in my truck.
Here, I'll keep a hand on it.
All right, we're good. So we want to take this off, right?
Yep.
So I'm thinking we'll just blast that too.
In the center?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so if we just cut it here in the center now.
Gotcha.
Once this is off, we can focus on. So bring it down just a little bit so you see the black smoke, and then you want to do it up till right till it goes away.
There?
Yeah, it should be good.
All right.
And then the green one, you got to turn that one on. That's your oxygen. That's what gets it hot, hot. And you're gonna want to go to, you see like just some little blue cones at the very end.
All right, some blue?
No, keep going.
More blue?
Keep going. Whoops.
Oh.
Whoa, I messed it up.
Right there? Yeah, what could go wrong, James?
I'm gonna step back.
In the most tight area. I can't see anything.
All right.
All right, well that was easy.
Easy. Is that the first time you ever used one?
Yeah, I think maybe in like high school shop class like 20 something years ago. So on this side here, we're gonna see if we can actually hammer this one through. The other one got stuck, but we had room to get the torch in between the two. This side, we do not have that room. And if you look right there on that piece of 2x, you can see that the bolt has already ripped through the back of this piece of steel. So we're really only gonna have to pound it through that one side right there. So hopefully she goes. And like, hopefully the whole bed doesn't go, because really we don't have a lot supporting it. Oh yeah, she's looking real stout right there. Okay, so now that we lowered it down, we have access to get the torch in there. I'm gonna cut that bolt off, and we should be free. It might do something funky because we're still floating up in the air and attached to the skip loader, but I don't think we're gonna die. Well, it looks to me like we are free. Or I just welded the two pieces together. I'm not really sure. Really my first experience with a torch. Now I'm gonna rig up the back here. Oh, that was a total fail. That way we can hopefully pick this whole thing up in one shot. Let's see what happens if we ratchet strap this thing here. She'll just lift off. She might be wedged on there. Oh, she's pulling the mini truck with her. She might still be wedged over here. Someone's keeping us locked on. Let's see if we can free her up here. There we go. Looking better, looking better. I think that's pretty free. Let's see if that means she'll come up now. There it is. All right. Okay, so I'm getting all the wiring disconnected here. Unfortunately, the old license plate lights that we don't really use anyway don't have a connector, so we're going to snip those, and then unfortunately we're also going to snip all the wiring that Sergio did for my lights, which, let's see how many wires are in this bundle here. That's a lot. That's a lot of, jeez. There's like 10 wires in there. Sorry, Sergio, we got to do some cutting. Oh crap. Totally forgot we had that little safety strap in there, and well, now safety's getting in the way. Woo! James, you alive, buddy?
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.